Yeah.
Keep walking back that way.
Can you de-escalate a little bit? Because I feel like you're trying to just exert your authority over me, and I don't like it.
I'm not. I'm speaking to you in my normal voice.
You have no authority over me. Okay?
When I ask you to step out of the vehicle, you step out of the vehicle. You don't get to sit there and tell me how I'm going to do my job. You understand?
I'm so sorry, I'm late for work.
So you could go over 80 miles per hour on 92? No, ma'am. You have your driver's license and your insurance card? Just turn off the car and pass me.
A peaceful journalist walks into Ramapo Town Hall to file a public records request, and chaos erupts. Within minutes, 10 law enforcement officers swarm the building over a man with a camera. He calmly stands his ground, citing the First Amendment, while officers wrongly demand ID and threaten arrest. In what viewers are calling the biggest walk of shame on the internet, police try, and fail, to kick him out of a public building. He later files an official complaint at the police station and demands accountability. You don't want to miss how this unfolds. This is First Amendment drama at its finest.
She doesn't have a mask. They don't have masks. They don't have masks, ma'am.
Please, you need a mask.
But they don't have masks. How can
She
you?
just came out the office.
Okay. So what does that mean?
Don't videotape me.
What?
Don't
I'm going to videotape you.
Why?
For sure. Because that's what I do. Transparency and accountability, man.
You need a mask. Okay, let me call the office.
You can call whoever you'd like, man. There's people in this building walking around without masks. That's hypocritical.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
are you videotaping?
I am videotaping. That's correct.
What happened?
What do you
Why are
mean?
videotaping?
Why?
Yeah.
I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story. Who are you?
I'm Penny Mann. I work in the supervisor's office.
Penny?
Yes.
Man?
Yes.
You work in the supervisor's office?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can't videotape in here.
Why can't I videotape in here?
It's not legal to videotape.
It's not legal.
No. Oh, do you have business here? I'll put it that way to you. Do you have business here?
Yeah, of course I have business here.
Okay. What is it?
This is a public building, ma'am. Why would I need to
understand
explain
that.
to you my business
I
here?
understand that. You get no argument from me.
Okay.
This is a public building.
Okay, great. I'm glad we can agree on that.
Exactly. So, do you have business here? Is there an office that you're going to?
I'm sorry?
Is
Yeah,
there
but
an office that you're
why would I need to tell you my business here, though?
Because you cannot legally be here if you don't have business here.
Sure I can. This is a public... We agreed that this is a public building, ma'am.
Yes, it is a public building. but
So
you
it's
have-
open
you
to the
can't
public.
loiter.
It's
You
not
can't
loitering. I just told you I'm an independent journalist.
Okay.
I have freedom of press,
Do
ma'am.
you have a reason to be here?
Yes, I do. I just told you I'm an
You said
independent journalist.
Your hat says "We the People."
We the people. Yes, my hat. You like it?
We're all the. I love the hat. Actually.
Okay, great. I'm happy.
We're all the people.
Thank you. You can grab me one if you want. If we're all going to follow the rules now,
So, question.
I would appreciate it. Okay, thank you. I will. I'm just talking to her really quick. She wants to talk to me.
So-
Penny.
So, question. Why are you taping? Let me ask you that.
I feel like we're going around in circles. I'm an independent journalist working on a story.
Okay. What is your story?
My story, I don't want to divulge that until it's published.
Okay.
I don't want to divulge that. Not right now, this time. Thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Joanne. Did you
Okay. I'm going to continue about my business. So we have the attorney's office here. I can't believe that unless I have, they're making a real big deal out of this. It's not supposed to be that way. It's always somebody from the supervisor's office. No public entry. You see, this is where you can't go. Restricted areas. We have the assessor's office over here. The town clerk will be doing a FOIL request. Just a few minutes. The receiver of taxes over here.
Charge for pictures.
I'm sorry?
We charge you for pictures.
You charge for pictures? How much? Don't say nothing. He charges for pictures.
you?
For me? Who?
Come in.
Who? These 3 officers over here?
You can stay right there, that's fine. You don't need to approach me.
Excuse me?
You can stay right there.
I don't need to approach you?
No, you can stay right back there. You can walk back that way.
Ma'am.
You can walk back that way.
Yeah.
Keep
I don't
walking
wanna-
back that way.
Can you de-escalate a little bit? Because I feel like you're trying to just exert your authority over me and I don't like it.
I'm not. I'm speaking to you in my normal voice.
You have no authority over me. Okay?
Actually, I do.
I'm in a public building. I'm conducting
they're
lawful
asking you to
business.
leave.
I'm conducting lawful business. No, they didn't. That's
Yes,
a lie.
they did.
They did not ask me to
They
leave.
asked you to leave and they said that you
I'm
were no
conducting
longer
business.
allowed to be
I'm
here.
conducting
So
business.
therefore, you need to leave the location.
I'm conducting business. I'm doing a Freedom of Information Act request.
They asked you to leave. And
So you're
that-
saying, can I get a supervisor here? Hi. I'm conducting lawful business. I'm an independent journalist, exercising my freedom of press right.
Okay.
It's a right, not a privilege. Freedom of press. This is a public building. You guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 officers here, 6 including yourself, Sergeant.
Okay.
It's completely uncalled for. I'm trying to conduct business.
Okay. What is your business? What are you trying to
I'm doing a Freedom of Information request, which is a law,
Okay.
and I'm also gathering content for a story.
Okay. Well, right now, we were called here by the people who work in this office building.
Okay.
They are concerned for their safety and their well-being, that there is somebody in here. They've asked you to step out and to leave and to stop
They
video
did. They did
recording
not.
here.
I have it on camera. They did not ask me to leave.
Okay. Well, that's what they're relaying to us.
Okay,
so
that's a lie.
That's why we are here right now. I'm not going to dispute truth or fact right now. I'm going to tell you that is why we're here right now. We are going to conduct our investigation.
That's fine.
Okay,
Conduct whatever investigation you
I'm going to
like.
ask for your ID because we do need to know who we're speaking with right now.
You're gonna ask for my
That's part-
ID.
yes, I am.
So
That's
in
part
order,
of our investigation.
okay, in order for me, I just want to I listen to you, so I'd ask you just listen to me. I don't need to assist you in your investigation. I don't work for the police department. I don't want to assist you in your investigation into me for whatever reason. Do you have a crime that you suspect me of committing? Do you have reasonable,
We are
articulable
here on an
suspicion?
investigation of a complaint, yes.
Do you have reasonable, articulable suspicion I've committed a crime?
We're not saying that you committed a crime. We are here to investigate a complaint right now.
So if you haven't, if you're saying that I haven't committed a crime, then I don't have to provide you my ID lawfully. So I'm not going to.
Okay, then I'm going to ask you to step out of this building and to leave this building.
I'm conducting business, ma'am.
Okay, at this point you were asked that you were not allowed welcome here anymore, and we were going to ask you to
But
leave.
you can't stop somebody from recording. You can't stop somebody
I
from
never asked
gathering.
you to stop recording. That is not what I've asked you to do. I asked
You're
you
asking me to leave a public
You are
building,
yes,
ma'am.
you are no
Can I
longer
get your
welcome
name?
within this building. My name is Sergeant Mayer.
Sergeant Mayer, and your badge number?
Yes, 456.
456. And are you telling me that if I don't leave this building, you're going to arrest me?
I'm telling you right now that you're going to leave this building. Yes.
No, but I just
You
want to
were
know.
requested. I'm not going to argue with you back and forth. Let's step outside.
Are you an attorney, sir?
This is actually our
I'm
house
the
right
town
here.
supervisor. I
This is
am
the
an
town
attorney, but I'm not
supervisor.
here in that capacity. I
Okay.
just walked down the hall.
Sir,
saw something happening.
maybe I can speak to you and we can come to a better understanding here.
Well, I'm not going to speak to you while you're filming me. You're free to film me, but I'm not going to have a discussion on camera with you.
I'm an independent journalist. Yeah,
That's
but you're
wonderful.
violating but your officers, you're the supervisor, so I just want to let you know, you're opening yourself up to civil, and you said you're a lawyer, you're opening yourself to civil litigation. All I'm doing is I'm peacefully filming. I'm not bothering anybody. I have to do a FOIL request with the town clerk's office. I have official business here. I'm exercising my constitutional right. That's all I'm doing, peacefully. And you're going to kick me out of a public building?
I'm going to ask you to give me 1 minute.
Okay, great. No problem. You guys really don't have nothing better to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 officers for one man with a camera. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not nefarious. I don't have any ill intent here. I don't understand. What's the big deal? Somebody can't film? You have cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras all over this building. What's the difference? I don't understand. Seems like a big waste of resources for your city here. Really does. Really does. Can I get your name and badge number? Since everybody wants to be here. What is it?
Officer Winter, like the season.
Okay. Can I get your name and badge number?
Right here, boss.
Right here? Is that RIGHT?
Right here.
Oh, okay. Simpson, 524. Hi, can I get your name and badge number?
Harrington, 549.
Thank you, Harrington. Appreciate it. Can I get your name and badge number, sir?
Huh?
Can I get your name and badge number, please?
Hey, what you said?
Can I get your name and badge number, please?
Oh, yeah. My last name's Mitchell.
Mitchell?
Yeah.
Your badge number?
496.
Thank you, Mitchell.
Can I get your name?
No, I'm not going to give it.
No. What are you here for? I just showed up. I don't even know what's going on.
I'm in fear of retaliation, so I'm not going to give my name. It's my Fourth Amendment right. No, I'm just here. I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story, doing a Freedom of Information Act request. That's all I'm doing here.
What'd they call us?
I don't know, because I have a camera in my hand. I don't know, man. Doesn't make sense to me either. Doesn't make sense.
You don't need to step over there.
You can stay
Excuse
right
me?
here, though. You are
Am I being detained?
You are being asked to stay here for our investigation.
Am I being detained?
You are temporarily being detained as we commit our investigation.
Unlawful detainment.
You can call it how you...
It is an unlawful. You have to learn the law. If you're going to uphold the law, you took an oath to the Constitution. Freedom of press is part of the Constitution. You have to, if you're going to uphold it, you have to learn it. This is an illegal detainment. You can't detain me unless you suspect that I'm committing a crime. This is all things you should have learned in the academy. And as a supervisor, I think that's, you should really know. You cannot detain somebody legally without you having suspected me of committing a crime. This is ridiculous.
We're good, yes. We're good.
Thank you. Can I get your name, sir? Can I get your
Dolan.
Lieutenant Dolan? Thank you, Lieutenant. You guys are dismissed. Please don't detain me unlawfully anymore.
No one's detaining you.
No.
If he's not doing anything illegal or dangerous or disruptive,
Exactly.
that's fine with me.
It's my right to be in this building.
As long as he
This is a taxpayer's
follows the
building.
rules, then...
This is the taxpayer's building.
As long as you're okay
But
with
thank
it,
you very much.
And by the way, she did detain me. Just so you know. Just so you know, it's on camera. She did
Okay,
detain me.
well, I'm not gonna
So that's an
debate.
unlawful
I'm
detainment.
not debating with you, but
Okay.
that's all there is.
Great. Take care, guys. This is the biggest walk of shame I've ever seen. Completely insane, uncalled for. Justice Court. Sir, you're a lieutenant, right? Sir, I would like to talk to you about a complaint I want to make against the sergeant. She unlawfully detained me with that.
Go to the front of the lobby. Go to the front lobby of the police station. I'll entertain that complaint for you. Okay?
You'll entertain the complaint in the lobby. Okay, I'll be over there. And your name was again, so I can know who I asked for?
Dolan, Lieutenant Dolan.
Lieutenant Dolan. I'll be over there shortly after I conduct my business. Thank you, Lieutenant. Unlawful detainment. No reason. All right, guys. So we took our tour around the building over here. Let's do our Freedom of Information Act request here. They ring the bell. I get some service here. Hi, ma'am. How are you? I'm looking to do a FOIL request. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So the reason why I'm here is to do this Freedom of Information Act request. Apparently, one of our fellow patriots had tried to do a Freedom of Information Act request for the disciplinary file of one of the officers here, and they told him that they couldn't. He wanted to see the complaint that someone had filed. So we're gonna be requesting that information, as well as the regular information that we normally request: the salary, the names, the titles of all employees for the city. See how that compares with the average salary for the city's residents, the people that the city employees work for, or they're supposed to. So we're going to be requesting Wayne Mitchell. He's a police officer here, his disciplinary record. So let's get into it. Let's fill this out. Here you go, ma'am. So I'm requesting the, just so you have an idea of what, in case you can't read my handwriting, it's the disciplinary record, any complaints and any investigative reports to that officer, Wayne Mitchell, regarding him, and as well as the name, title, and salary of all city employees. And just a quick question for you. How do you say, I want to say your city's name right. How do you say it? The city's name.
The town of Ramapo.
I'm sorry?
This is the town of Ramapo.
Ramapo?
That's the town, yeah.
Ramapo, though, is how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help. And you can email it to that email that I listed.
Okay.
LongIslandAudit@gmail.com.
It can take 5 to 20 business days.
For sure, yeah. As long as it's within the law, that's no problem. Thank you. Have a great day. So we're gonna go over and head over. This building also has a police department inside of it. So we're gonna be heading over there to file a complaint on the sergeant who unlawfully detained me. She told me I was detained. That's an unlawful detainment. They need to get educated. I follow up on everything. She's getting a complaint in her file without a doubt. So we'll see how they handle it. Let's head over there right now. Police department. Right over here is the headquarters. So we're gonna go inside, and like we promised, we will be filing a complaint against Sergeant Mayer. Badge number 456. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I was told by a lieutenant to come around front. I wanted to do I was just in town hall. I wanted to do file a complaint against a sergeant.
Against the sergeant?
Yeah, the lieutenant told me to come around here to the front. My name's Sean.
Okay, have a seat. I'll get you.
Thank you.
I'm just doing roll call. Can I come back and get you the paperwork to fill out your complaint? Is that what you're here for?
Yeah, I'm filing my complaint
Right.
against the sergeant.
Just give me a few minutes.
Sure,
I'll come
no
back
problem,
up.
Lieutenant. Thank you for
You're
coming
welcome.
out and letting me know.
Yep, no
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you for taking the time, Lieutenant.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see. You gonna film the whole thing?
I am.
All right.
I am.
You can either fill these out.
It's a pretty simple complaint.
Yeah.
I can fill it out. That's no problem.
Yeah, you can either do it now, or you can actually take it with you, bring it back, and give
Okay.
it to whoever you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just do a form. I'll just take your information down, and you'll put it on here. Obviously, this is like any other form, officially form. False statements made here and are punishable with a Class C misdemeanor pursuant to Section 210-45 of the Penal Law. I
Okay.
would sign it. You would sign it. You would sign here. I would sign.
Yeah.
And that's it. So you just write down what your complaint is.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah,
it'll
just so I can talk to you, so you know what exactly my complaint is before I write it down. Is, there was a lot of police officers that arrived for, I immediately said who I was, what I was doing. I'm an independent journalist. I'm doing a FOIL request. You need to leave. You're being trespassed from this building. You can't film here. For police officers, the one officer's getting in my face saying, you're not moving from here. And I told her, please de-escalate a little bit, because that's how you get police officers hurt and members of the public hurt, by just automatically going in guns a-blazing on a situation that you know nothing about. So I'm a peaceful person. I'm not trying to have conflict with anybody, but I'm not going to back down when my rights are being violated or somebody's trying to exert authority over me that they don't have. So they try to trespass me from a public building without committing any crimes, without doing anything wrong. I have freedom of press, as you know. And as you also know, Lieutenant, you cannot detain somebody without reasonable articulable suspicion that they've committed a crime. I specifically asked your sergeant, what crime do you suspect me of committing? Give me your ID. I need your ID. What crime do you suspect me of committing? And I'll gladly hand you over my ID. I don't have one. I'm not saying I'm investigating. Well, just for investigating, I don't need to help you investigate me. I'm not committing a crime, so I don't need to give you my ID. That seemed to blow her mind, like she didn't understand that. And that's scary for somebody in a supervisor position to not know the basics of, her authority in demanding ID from someone. That can get somebody hurt, somebody in jail, their freedom taken away from them. And that's why I want to do this complaint. Also, detaining me. I'm trying to walk around and conduct my business. Don't move from here. Am I being detained? Yes, you are being detained. Again, what crime do you suspect me of committing to detain me? I don't have one. Those are basic concepts in law enforcement that your officers, and especially your sergeant, should be well educated on. That you can't just go up to people and detain them just because you want to. You know what I mean? So that's my complaint here, and I'm going to be asking for some retraining you know, some consequences, some accountability here for these actions, because it goes from the top down, you know.
Your complaint will be completely investigated, as I said before. You can I can take your written complaint from, just refer it to her boss, or I can have you write whichever one you prefer. Obviously, this is a preferred method of making a complaint because it's official. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We take any complaint seriously here, and we process and we investigate it. So
for sure. All right.
Just let me know what you prefer to do.
I'm gonna write it out really quick because I don't think it's a big it's a big deal.
You don't have to, just whatever we need to do, and then I'll come back in.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect timing. Perfect timing, Lieutenant. Perfect timing. Might be a little hard to read my chicken scratch, but I'll also be
a lot better than mine.
I'll also be sending video of the incident for the investigation as well. If you have an email or
what I'm going to do is I'm going to get your phone number, and then what I'll do is whoever will be conducting the full investigation, that's who you'll send it to. So,
great.
But you should get pretty quickly get a response from somebody to tell you what to do next.
Okay, great. Correct.
And I'll have somebody get back to you as soon as well. I don't know how long. It's a Friday.
That's not a problem.
All right? But
yeah,
we'll
not a problem.
To you pretty soon, all right?
Thanks, Lieutenant. Appreciate your time today.
Anything else you need, leave me a message.
All right, thank you. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
A teenage girl was violently slammed to the ground by a cop in small-town Indiana, all for a minor traffic stop. The shocking part? She did try to show her ID, but before she could, the officer yanked her out and threw her down. Then her dad showed up. And he wasn't just any dad. He was calm, respectful, and revealed he's a retired state trooper. Turns out the cop had a history of violence that the town already knew about. After months of silence, the body cam footage finally came out, and it exposed the truth. Community outrage exploded. The town fired the officer. All charges were dropped. Now the family's considering a lawsuit, and people are calling for real police reform. Watch the full video to see what really happened, and why this story could change everything.
You can see the teenager's school ID and driver's license on the ground near her head.
Give me your other hand. It didn't have to be like this. One detained. All right, get up. Roll over on your butt.
I have a knee injury. Please help me out.
Which knee's hurt?
No, I have a knee injury.
Okay, ready? We're gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3, up. How old are you?
18.
Good job, you're going to jail.
Well, can you
Refusing to identify.
Can you please grab my things for me?
Your what?
Can you please grab my phone and my license for me?
Yep. Take a seat.
And my keys?
Take a seat.
Schimmel picked up her student ID and driver's license. Then he picked up her cell phone and wallet.
All right, Vivian. Are you injured in any way? Would you like the medics to check you out? Okay. I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, okay? I have to read these to you since you're in custody, all right? This is your Miranda warning. Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and have them with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand your rights? Okay, I'm not going to ask you any questions right now. What I am going to tell you is you were pulled over for your speed and your headlight, okay? Your speed was 37 and 30, not that big of a deal, and your headlight was out on your driver's side. Just pulling you over to let you know. If you would have just given me your license and your registration like I asked you to do, you would have gone away with a warning tonight, okay? But however, since you decided to pull this right here, where you don't want to comply, you don't want to give me your ID, and you think you're going to run the scene, you're now going to jail. Do you understand?
I was trying to give you my ID.
You were not. How many times did I ask you?
I was pulling out my ID.
You were not. I've got a body cam on. It will show you not pulling your ID out. When I ask you to step out of the vehicle, you step out of the vehicle. You don't get to sit there and tell me how I'm going to do my job. Do you understand?
It was attached to my
What do you got?
Pull over for headlight and speed.
Okay.
Cracks her window. Ask her to roll it down the rest of the way. Cracks it another ½ inch. Ask her to exit. She refuses to exit until I tell her why. Tell her about 4 or 5 times to exit the vehicle. You don't want to go down this route. Refuse to exit. So, pulled her ass out, put her in an arm bar, slammed her to the ground, got her in custody.
How old is she?
She said she's 18.
Okay.
So she's going to go to jail. Of course, my body cam didn't turn on when I told it to. You're going to have to back out, man. There's no room over there.
That's a gas station customer who criticizes Schimmel's parking job.
Plug up the whole damn parking.
Okay, well, the problem here, sir, is that she pulled in here. I didn't pull her in here, so get off my scene. Get off my scene. What do you say?
I don't know.
No, dispatch.
Oh, here. So make sure.
Moments later, Brent Augustus arrives. He is Vivian's father.
How's it going?
My car.
Yeah. Your daughter.
Yep. So I'll tell you, because I'm the one that pulled over. So I pulled her over for speed, 37 and a 30, and then the headlight. Okay, her driver's side headlight's out.
Oh, okay.
Pull her over. She pulls in here, cracks the window. Oh, they're talking to me.
I got it.
Okay. Cracks the window. Ask her to roll the window down a little bit more. All the commotion and the rain, I can't hear her.
Yeah.
Refuses to do that. Ask her to step out of the vehicle. She refuses to step out. Ask her probably 4, 5, 6 times to exit the vehicle nicely. Ask her please. Refuse to do it. Want to give me her ID. Want to give me her registration. So she was assisted out of the vehicle, placed into custody, resisting arrest and failure to identify.
Okay.
Okay.
That's, I mean, honestly, I know she's 18. That's probably my bad because I've instructed her that you roll the window down like that much.
Absolutely. You don't have to roll it down all the way as long as you can get the ID out. The problem is when I can't hear because of traffic and the rain and everything, we're in a gas station.
I know. I'm saying
and you ask her to exit the vehicle and she refuses to do so. You know what I mean? Then we go down this route.
Yep.
So, I just wanted to let you know. Are you dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dad's a retired state trooper.
Okay.
So.
Do you have somebody? Well, I already called a hook. I wish you would have got here a few minutes earlier. I would have just gave you the car, but there's already a wrecker on the way. So.
Oh, I can't just take my car?
Let me see if they called him.
I got it.
He'll do it.
I was going to say wrecker or not.
Well, they've already been called, but if they're not in the truck yet, I'll give it to you. I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
I just have to do a search incident to arrest, make sure there's nothing in there she shouldn't have, and then I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got your ID, so I can.
Yeah. So what happens next with her?
So she's going to go to jail for resisting. She's going to get a ticket for the headlight and the speed. She'll go down to Whitley County Jail. She'll be assigned a bond, and then you can bond her out.
Okay.
Or whoever. Doesn't matter who, but she'll get a bond.
Yeah. Can I talk to her for a sec? Just to keep her chill?
Just disregard him. Yeah, you give me a minute, okay?
Sure.
2 Roswell officers pulled over a woman for speeding, but instead of using proper protocol, they flipped a coin to decide whether to arrest her. Yes, a literal coin toss. The woman ended up in handcuffs, despite the officer not even having a working radar gun. This outrageous moment led to public outcry, and both officers were fired. Want to know how it all unfolded, and how this shocking arrest was caught on body cam? Watch the full video to see why justice finally came full circle.
Stay in the car.
Sorry, my window doesn't hold.
Off to Brown Roswell Police Department. You know how fast you were just going, ma'am?
I'm so sorry, I'm late for work.
So you could go over 80 miles per hour on 92? No, ma'am. You have your driver's license and your insurance card?
Yeah, my insurance.
Turn off the car and pass me the keys, please. The ground's wet. It's been raining. You're going over 80 miles an hour
so
on this type of a road. That's reckless driving, ma'am.
This is LexisNexis. I'm trying to look it up. I don't have it printed off.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right with you. Go for it. Hey. She was going like almost 90 down 92.
Oh, really?
She flew past me. I had to get up to 90 to catch her.
Wow.
My CAD's not working. Is yours? Did you?
I checked.
Can you see if can you check the tag too? I'm gonna have to restart this and see what the deal is.
Make me skid around.
I'm gonna take her probably for reckless.
Okay.
She flew past me going probably 80, 85 on 92 in the wet road. She said she's running late for work. I had to get up to 90 to catch her. What do you think? I mean, I don't have any speed detection, so at the same time, but...
Here, Officer Brown admits that she was not equipped with any speed detection devices to get an accurate measurement of Ms. Webb's speed. While the law varies between states, in Georgia, individuals can be convicted of speeding or reckless driving based purely on an officer's visual estimate of their speed. Georgia's speeding laws are found in Section 40-6-180 of the Georgia Code, which reads that, quote, "No person shall drive a vehicle at a speed greater than is reasonable and prudent under the conditions, and having regard for the actual and potential hazards then existing." And Section 40-6-181, which states that no person shall drive a vehicle at a speed in excess of certain maximum limits. In the 1992 case of Brown versus State, the Court of Appeals of Georgia determined that an officer's testimony of his visual estimate of the defendant's speed was legally sufficient to support a speeding conviction, holding that, quote, "Opinion testimony of an eyewitness may be used to establish speed, its credibility being for the jury to determine, and such evidence is sufficient to authorize a jury to conclude that the speeding laws have been violated." Similarly, in the 2002 case of Stone versus State, the Court of Appeals upheld a conviction based solely on the visual estimate of speed made by an officer because, quote, "An officer's estimate of speed is sufficient to support a conviction on a speeding violation." The same evidentiary standard would apply to a reckless driving charge, which, according to Section 40-6-390 of the Georgia Code, occurs when an individual, quote, "drives any vehicle in reckless disregard for the safety of persons or property." In the 2003 case of Fraser versus State, the Court of Appeals of Georgia concluded that, quote, "Speeding, unaccompanied by other traffic violations, can form the basis for a reckless driving conviction if the state presents evidence that a defendant was driving at an excessive rate of speed given the posted speed limit and the driving conditions existing at the time." Considering these Georgia case law precedents, a court would almost certainly find that Officer Brown's testimony regarding her visual estimation of Ms. Webb's speed was sufficient evidence to sustain a conviction for speeding and possibly reckless driving, although a jury could find that her admission that she did not know the exact speed made her testimony less credible. However, it's important to recognize that this standard is specific to Georgia law, and some other states prohibit convictions based solely on visual estimates of speed.
No, but you can use the fact that you were going whatever speed and she went past you. Mm-hmm. It's on camera, so you're going to have a back speed. You're going to have the fact that you went 90 to catch up to her. You're going to have too fast for conditions. And
yeah, I mean, that's unacceptable. I told her, I said, you know the roads are wet, correct? You're running late for work and you're going above 80 to get to work. I said, call. So do not do that and put people's lives in jeopardy. Yeah. So, my CAD just froze on me, so I'm restarting it right now. What do you think? Or just tickets?
Atlanta answer or Roswell answer?
Hold on. Are you? Okay, hold on. Thank you.
Valid.
Yeah, sorry, she did it. Unavailable. My CAD's not working. Who's that?
A head, R tail.
Okay.
Off camera, Officer Wilson pulls up a coin flip app on her phone and states, quote, "A head, R tail," meaning that if the coin lands on heads, then Ms. Webb should be arrested, but if the coin lands on tails, she should be released. Regardless of the result, Officer Brown would have been within her authority to arrest Ms. Webb under both Georgia law and the U.S. Constitution. Under Section 40-6-1 of the Georgia Code, most traffic offenses in the state are criminal misdemeanors, including speeding and reckless driving, and Section 17-4-20 allows officers to arrest individuals for crimes without a warrant if, quote, "the offense is committed in such officer's presence." arrests. Even if state law did not allow for arrests for these offenses, the Supreme Court has established a blanket rule that if a warrantless arrest for an offense committed in the officer's presence is supported by probable cause, it is constitutionally permissible. In the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, the Supreme Court held that, quote, if an officer has probable cause to believe that an individual has committed even a very minor criminal offense in his presence, he may, without violating the Fourth Amendment, arrest the offender, despite noting that the incidents of the arrest in question were, quote, merely gratuitous humiliations imposed by a police officer who was, at best, exercising extremely poor judgment. The Supreme Court later affirmed and expanded this decision in the 2008 case of Virginia versus Moore, concluding that, quote, warrantless arrests for crimes committed in the presence of an arresting officer are reasonable under the Constitution, and that while states are free to regulate such arrests however they desire, state restrictions do not alter the Fourth Amendment's protections. Given the broad discretion given to officers in making arrests, a court would likely uphold the constitutionality of an arrest decision based on a coin toss, as long as the arrest was supported by probable cause. Nonetheless, in some jurisdictions, these actions would violate departmental policies. For example, the Georgia Department of Public Safety Policy Manual identifies certain circumstances when traffic offenders can be arrested, and all other custodial traffic arrests are prohibited. The Roswell Police Department Policy and Procedures Manual, on the other hand, does not specifically limit traffic arrests, but it does require that, quote, whenever appropriate, an officer should use alternatives to physical arrest by issuing citations. However, by deciding whether to arrest Ms. Webb based on a coin flip, the officers likely violated another section of the Roswell Manual, which states that, quote, police officers, having a position of trust and civic responsibility, should so conduct themselves as to merit the confidence and respect of the public and fellow officers. The policy also requires that officers, quote, conduct themselves in such a manner as to reflect a favorable image on themselves and the Roswell Police Department. Members will consider it their duty to be of service to the general public and to render that service in a kind, considerate, and patient manner.
This is tail right.
Yeah, so really.
23.
Michael Jordan? Hi. So I got too fast for, let me write this down.
Too fast for conditions.
Is it reckless?
Yeah, you can do reckless, and then speeding. And you're just gonna have to mark the pace one instead of the...
I mean, either way, the speed limit here is what, 45?
Yeah.
45. She was going way...
Yeah.
I mean... Because I haven't done one like speeding like that, so that's why I'm a little bit unsure.
You're gonna do the patrol vehicle spot, and then it's gonna ask you for moving or not moving, and you're gonna do moving.
Can you help me do these dang tickets? My CAD won't even log me in. Sorry. Alright, I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's not okay. Yeah. Alright, ma'am. Do me a favor and step out of the vehicle for me. Put the phone down.
Why am I
Put your phone down. Step out of the vehicle. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Because, ma'am, you're driving entirely too fast for conditions. You put a lot of people's lives in jeopardy, okay? Double locking these so that they don't tighten on you. Do me a favor and step in front of my vehicle, ma'am. Step in front of my patrol vehicle. Do you have anything? Do you have anything in your pockets? Do you have anything on you that poke, stick, or stab me? Any drugs, paraphernalia, anything like that? Okay. You have a bond. Return to the side for me. Here, move on, Burkett. I'm just gonna shake this out, okay? Alright. Do me a favor, step over here. It's my patrol vehicle. Have a seat for me. We're gonna buckle you in, okay? Alright. RDR 390R. Alpha 1 in custody. 919. Alpha 1, can you please start me at 85?
Here, Officer Brown begins searching Ms. Webb's vehicle. While officers cannot search an individual's vehicle based solely on a traffic violation, there are many instances where officers may conduct warrantless searches of vehicles. First, it's essential to remember that officers can always search a vehicle with its owner's consent, and they do not need probable cause to request permission to search. As the Supreme Court first held in the 1925 case of Carroll versus United States, officers can also conduct warrantless searches of automobiles based on probable cause to believe that the vehicle contained evidence of a crime without violating the Fourth Amendment. Similarly, in the 1991 case of California versus Acevedo, the Supreme Court concluded that officers can search closed containers inside of vehicles without a warrant if the search is supported by probable cause. However, in this situation, it appears that Officer Brown was actually taking an inventory of the items in the vehicle in preparation for it to be towed. In the 1976 case of South Dakota versus Opperman, the Supreme Court explained that, quote, when vehicles are impounded, local police departments generally follow a routine practice of securing and inventorying the automobile's contents. These procedures developed in response to three distinct needs: the protection of the owner's property while it remains in police custody, the protection of the police against claims or disputes over lost or stolen property, and the protection of the police from potential danger. For this reason, when officers searched and inventoried an impounded vehicle, the court concluded that, quote, in following standard police procedures prevailing throughout the country and approved by the overwhelming majority of courts, the conduct of the police was not unreasonable under the Fourth Amendment. Here, the Roswell Police Department Policy and Procedures Manual mandates that, quote, members of this department will inventory and document the contents of every vehicle being impounded. Because Officer Brown appeared to be complying with this policy when searching Ms. Webb's vehicle, a court would probably conclude that this search was constitutional.
You can take your phone with you. Now your makeup bags and all that. Is it okay to leave those in the car? Because you can make a phone call, but that's all you can do. If you want to call them, you're allowed to call them, but... Okay. Give me 1 second, I'll let you call them, okay? Where does he live? Okay, have a good day, sir.
There's no reason that I should be letting go right now.
Okay.
Ms. Webb was arrested and charged with going too fast for conditions and reckless driving, but the charges were later dropped. On July 18, 2018, Roswell Police Chief Rusty Grant denounced the officer's behavior in a video statement posted on Facebook and stated that the department was conducting a, quote, top-down assessment of the department and bringing in an outside consultant to perform an audit. On July 26, 2018, Officer Brown and Officer Wilson were both fired after the internal investigation was completed. Overall, Officer Brown and Officer Wilson get an F for exercising poor discretion by choosing to arrest Ms. Webb instead of citing her for speeding, violating several aspects of departmental policy and general policing standards, and for demonstrating poor character and an overall questionable ethical aptitude. There is no doubt that a majority of Officer Brown's conduct was lawful. However, it could certainly be argued that while Officer Brown's actions didn't necessarily violate the law, there are serious ethical questions to be raised about hinging the decision to arrest someone on the flip of a coin. A large part of police work is making the most reasonable and ethical decision possible within the bounds of an officer's authority. Most officers are required to take the law enforcement oath of honor along with their oaths to the federal and state constitution. The oath of honor explicitly promotes accountability and maintaining high ethical standards. And officers who neglect to consider the ethicality of their decisions are essentially betraying this oath and failing to fulfill half of their job description. Officer Brown and Officer Wilson demonstrated behavior that trivialized the social and financial impact of being arrested and diminished the department's relationship with its community. And I commend the Roswell Police Department for taking the appropriate action to address their officers' misconduct.